You certainly know this phenomenon from your own work. Design is important, but only practice teaches you how well the design actually works in real life. In lesson 2, we will therefore take you on a small trip from 2016 to today. You will witness the evolution of impact linked finance from the first instrument called Social Impact Incentives, or SIINC, to an entire family of ILF instruments that offer better terms for better impact. And we will explain why the design principles for impact linked finance matter, and even more importantly, how they translate into real life. Now, are you ready? Then let's dive deeper.
Welcome to the second lesson of Impact Linked Finance Essentials. In this lesson, we will embark on the journey from ILF design to practice. In the last lesson, we discovered what ILF is, why it makes sense, and what makes it unique. Now, we will dive deeper into the design principles and practical application of ILF together. First, we'll explore two key ILF instruments: impact-linked loans, in short, ILLs, and social impact incentives, also known as SIINC. Second, we will walk through the key impact-linked finance design principles and discuss how they work in real-world examples. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to, first, understand what makes an effective ILF design, and second, grasp how ILLs and SIINCs work and what are their benefits for everyone involved. Ready? Let's get started. In 2016, Roots of Impact and the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation, SDC, introduced the first ILF instrument, Social Impact Incentives SIINC. This was groundbreaking because it rewarded enterprises directly for achieving social outcomes, something that hadn't been done quite like this before. After SIINC, the impact-linked loan ILL was developed, building on these pioneering ideas, and first implemented in 2018. Now let's take a closer look at impact-linked loans. An impact-linked loan is a type of loan that ties the interest rate to the social impact achieved by the enterprise. It's a simple loan agreement, but the twist is that the better the outcomes, the lower the interest rate the enterprise has to pay. In other words, the better the impact, the better the terms. There's also a rarer option where not only the interest, but also the loan's repayment is linked to these outcomes. If the enterprise achieves its social targets, a part of the loan can be forgiven. This makes the impact-linked loan a bit more flexible and especially helps those enterprises that are achieving very high social outcomes. ILLs are suitable for enterprises that are ready to take on debt, which is typically the case in the growth stage. They're a relatively simple tool with no co-investment or leverage requirements. Now, let's look at how an ILL works in practice. Here's a real-life example in which DFC, the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, was the investor. DFC wanted to focus on gender impact, so they provided an ILL to an enterprise in Africa that offers environmentally friendly transport solutions for commuters. The interest rate on this loan was tied to predefined gender outcomes. These outcomes were measured annually, and once they were confirmed by an independent verifier, the enterprise would pay a lower interest rate based on the results. This example shows how an ILL can drive impact while also benefiting the enterprise through better loan terms. Now, we hope that you enjoyed this quick start into impact-linked loans or ILs and how these simple instruments can be applied. Are you curious for more? Then follow us to the next chapter on a deep dive on the design principles and how they are applied.